Great. So, as I said, we did Salesforce basic overview in the previous session as well as the company information. Today, we are going to learn about the objects in Salesforce. So, objects in Salesforce is represent in the format of table or in the form of table. Okay. Here it is referred as an entity in the database. So, for example, whatever you are seeing right now here on the screen, okay, for lead. So basically lead is the object, okay. Lead is a table which has rows and columns, okay, and it is in the form of table. So we call it as object. So we have two types of objects. Standard objects. First is standard object. So standard objects means the objects which are by default provided by Salesforce. It's called standard object. So example is leads, we have opportunity, we have accounts. And then the second type is custom object. So custom object is the object which we create for a business requirement. Okay. So that particular object we create it from scratch. Okay. And we can name it whatever we want. Okay. So this, so we have two types of objects, standard and custom object. So now what we are going to do is we are going to learn about some standard objects, okay, which are leads, accounts, contact, opportunity, to understand how the process works in Salesforce. Even though you don't have to work on these objects, I mean, the salespeople are the people who actually go on the object and do their work, okay. But as an admin you should know why these objects was created by Salesforce and why these objects are used in Salesforce, okay. Because once you have an idea about this, whatever the requirement you get from your clients and customer, you can implement it, okay. So let's first understand lead object. So our first object is lead object. So lead means leads are people who are interested in your product and services. Okay. Company can be two type, product company and service based company. So leads are the people who are interested in the product or services. Okay. So we can convert these leads into the loyal customer. Okay. So salespeople do this job. Okay. So whenever this lead comes into the picture, let's say, let me open this one here. Now this is the lead. Okay. This is the lead. And this lead, let's say, is newly created lead in Salesforce. Consider me as a salesperson. Now my job is to work on this particular lead and convert this lead into the loyal customer. So for that, what I'm going to do is, so we have all the detailed information about that lead. We have name, we have phone number, email, and other information. Now all these information is a standard one, okay? But when you join any company, there are might be customized. So you may see other fields as well. So we manage these leads in a systematic and structured way so that salespeople can increase the number of leads, okay, and they can convert these leads into customer. So that we can maintain two separate lists. So one is for the new customers or the prospective customer, and the second one is for the existing customer. Okay, so let's say now I'm working on this particular lead. I worked on it. I converted into the customer. So what will happen? This will become a existing customer. Okay, later on, let's say the same lead we get, okay, after 6 months or 8 months, then I can convert it or I can attach it to the existing customer. So let's see how you can convert a lead. here in Salesforce. So I have worked on this particular lead. I communicated with this lead via email and phone number. Now customer is ready to convert it. Okay. So here we have this button, convert button, converted button. Okay. I'm going to click on this converted button and then you'll have to click on the converted status. Okay. Once I click on it, I get this particular screen, right? And on this screen, I have two options. This is the first option and this is the second option, right? It says create new account or choose existing account. Now, create new account, okay? Account name will be showing the name, whichever it is there in the company, right? Contact Contact will become the name, okay? And opportunity will be the company name. Let me cancel this. Okay, you can see over here. So company will become the account and here name will become the contact, okay? And when you convert this, whatever information is there like email address, mobile number, this will all go into the contact. Okay, so similarly, all the fields, all the standard fields, whatever are there, those are already mapped in Salesforce. Okay, Salesforce has already mapped those fields. So what happened when you convert a lead, that lead gets converted into accounts, contacts, and optional opportunity. Opportunity is the optional. You can convert it or later on you can create the opportunity. Okay, so when you convert a lead, it gets converted into account and contact and optionally opportunity. In the account, it posts the company name. In contact, posts the name. Let's create a new lead. Let's say school. Okay, this is enough information. I'm going to save it now. So what I did in order to create a lead, I just simply clicked on this new button. As soon as I clicked on this new button, a page will get open where you can see all the boxes, right? There you can enter your information. Once you enter the information, you can click on save. Once you click on save, the record will get created. Now this is the record we just created. So we are going to change the status to working contacted. Okay, now consider that I'm working with this particular lead from the past 1 month, from the last 1 month, and then now I'm converting this lead today. Okay, so I'll click on converted status. Here I have two options, either create a new one or choose existing one. If I select existing one, then I can attach the same will to the GuruSchool account because we already have a GuruSchool account over here. Okay, so I can select it. However, it seems like the name is not matching, right? As the name is not matching, it is not showing any existing contact. So that's how you can attach it to the existing account and contact. If you want to create a new one, you can create new one. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to create a new one from scratch. We are not going to attach it to the existing one. So in that scenario, we will have two GuruSchool accounts. Okay, this is the contact, this is the opportunity it's going to create. If you don't want to create opportunity, simply click on this checkbox. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to click on convert. So once I convert this particular lead, it will become account, contacts, and opportunity, and the lead will vanish. Now you will have account, contacts, and opportunity. Okay, now you cannot see the lead over here. Only the admin who has permission, okay, no, I don't remember the permission name right now. Only that admin can view the lead. Okay, so I am going to convert it. Okay, you see here, now the lead has been converted. It says lead has been converted. Account is created. Phone and account name is showing. Then contact. In the contact, we can see contact name, email address, phone number, okay, and the opportunity. Okay, so now let's understand accounts. Okay, now we converted leads into account, contacts, and opportunity. So let's understand accounts. So accounts are the company that you are doing your business with. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we will have now two accounts. This is the first account which I created. I don't remember when I created, and this is the account which we created today. Okay, so this account we are going to see. So here, as you see in the account, we have account name, we have phone number, right? For all other information, we have not put in any information over there. So accounts are the companies that you are doing business with. So let's say yours is a service-based company, okay, where you are working right now. They have different projects, okay, where they provide IT consulting to other firms, okay, and for the or others or organization. So let's say um, so you have some companies, let's say GuruSchool is one of them, Edge Communication is one of them, Infosys is one of them. Okay, so these are all the organization with whom you're doing your business with. Okay, let's move to contact. So contacts are the people who work for that particular company. So in the account, for this particular account, if I go to related in the contact, I see my name. That means this is the user who is basically working at the GuruSchool. Okay. If I go to any other account, Edge Communication, if I go to related, I see two contacts, Sean and Rose. So these two are actually working for Edge Communication. Okay. So contacts are the people who work for that company. So if I go here and open this particular contact and go to the details, you will see account name over here, right? Account name is showing GuruSchool. And lastly, the opportunities. So opportunities are the potential deals, which are in the process, So we can track and manage the potential deal within the Salesforce. And opportunities are the deal in process or deal in progress. So opportunity record track details about the deals, including which account they are for. Okay, so for that you see here the account name and with whom you are communicating about that particular deal, so that you are going to see here in the contact row. Okay, let's see for the account GuruSchool, this opportunity is created GuruSchool, and this will be the point of contact person whom you are discussing this deal with. So once you convert a lead, that does not mean that they are your customer. No, salespeople have to go through all the stages over here, whatever is showing right now, and they can close this particular opportunity. Okay, let's say need analysis, then decision maker, then proposal price quote. Now, after that, negotiation. Okay, all this is there. Now we can close these opportunities. Okay, so we can select close stage. So we have two stage. We have close one and we have close lost. So closed one is something that customer has purchased our product, and close lost means customer has backed out and now he is not ready to purchase our product. Okay, so when I do this close one and click on save, that is when the deal is done completely. Okay, if I select this as close lost, that means this is a lost deal. Okay, so by converting lead doesn't mean we have a loyal customer, but when salespeople go through all this opportunity process and convert it into, you know, a customer, when they close that particular deal as close one. So these are some of the standard objects, which you are going to see very often in any organization, because all of them are using these objects. Apart from that, you can create custom objects. So let's say if there is some requirement which cannot be fulfilled by standard objects, in that scenario, you can create custom objects. Let me stop the screen sharing for 2 minutes. Okay, just give me a moment. Please give me 2 minutes, okay? I'll just be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. I'll share my screen now. Okay, hopefully you can see my screen. So we discuss about the standard objects. Okay, and now we are going to see to create a custom objects. So in order to do that, we are going to create two custom objects. Okay, one is position object. So position object is for tracking all the position in all stages of the process. So before doing that, what we are going to do is I'll just give you a small overview. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a new application that will be a recruiting application, which we are going to create it in our next class. And for that recruiting application, we are going to, create some custom objects. Okay. Because we don't have the standard objects which are fulfilling our business process. Okay, that's why we are going to create the custom object. So first custom object will be the position object. So position object is to track all the positions in all stages, all the position in all stages. Okay, and uh, we can have like number of positions, different types of positions. And the second object for custom object is candidate object, where we can store our candidate information. Okay, so for this demo, I'm going to create the position object, but for you, you will have to create position object as well as candidate object as a homework. Okay, so let's create the position object now. So for that, let's say that I am here in the sales application. Okay, and now I want to create a custom object. So for that, what I'm going to do is I will click on this setup here. Okay, click on this setup and then go to this particular setup page. Now I'm on this setup page, so you can create object from this object manager. Okay, you can see the button beside home is object manager. Click on object manager, and once you click on it, you will see all the standard objects, whatever is present right now on the or will be over here. Okay, so you can see label and API name and the type as well as type, which is standard object. Once we create our custom object, remember that our custom object API name will always have underscore underscore C, okay, which will define that it is a custom object. So let's create a first object. So for that, I'm going to click on this create button and then create custom object. Okay, now this is the page where you'll have to add or enter all the information. So first thing is label. So my custom object label will be position. Okay, as soon as I enter position label, object name, it is taking automatically. So object name means API name. Okay, now you'll have to give the plural label. So example is also given. Let's say if you are creating account object, so plural label will be accounts. Okay, and you can see also here leads, accounts, opportunities, contacts, all these are plural label. So let me give plural label as positions. Okay, let's add the description. This object stores information about the open jobs at a company. Okay, now Now, we'll have to give the record name. It says enter record name, label, and format. Okay, so record name will be the position name. For example, when I go here in the leads and click on new button, right? We have first name, last name, and company. Similarly, if I go to the account and click on new account, okay, I will have account name. So this particular field is the name field. Okay, so similarly, we will have here in the position object as well. So our record name field will be position name and the data type will be text. We have here auto number as well, but we don't want auto number, we want text. Okay, so that whenever there is any new position, we can enter that position name in that particular record. So that's why data type will be text. So text is something like a box, right? Where you can enter whatever information you want. Now we have some optional features like allow reports, activities, field history tracking. These are the optional features, right? Even if you have not enabled it right now, you can enable it later whenever you want. Okay. So as I mentioned in my previous lecture where we were seeing about the Salesforce basic introduction, there I mentioned that we can track the field history, right? So this is that permission which lets you track the field history tracking. Okay. If you enable this, then you will be able to do it. So in order to enable field history tracking, first you will have to enable it from here. Then we have another permission that I'm going to show it to you. So what I'm going to do is I'll just select this as of now. Object classification will be by default as it is. Then we have deployment status. So we have two status, in deployment and deployed. In deployment is status we can keep, let's say when we are building any or creating any custom object and testing it from our admin side. Okay. So in that scenario, we can keep it as in deployment, but right now I'm making it as deployed. Sometimes what happens is when you create a custom object, you create it from scratch, you have all the permissions, you like everything is set up. Still, user can't see the tab here. Okay. Why is that? Because the status is in deployment. So once you change the status to deploy, okay, that issue get resolved. So as of now, I'm going to keep it as deployed and I will select this allow search. Now this is the last setting, which is for object creation options. Uh, so first is notes and attachment and second is uh, launching a new custom tab. So you can launch a custom tab so that you can create a tab like this. Sorry, tab like this, accounts, contact, opportunity. Okay. If you don't create that tab, even if the object is there in the setting, you won't be able to see it over here because tab is not created, right? So in order to do that, you'll have to create a tab. So you can do it here from here, or we can create it from setup as well. Let's say you forgot to create it from here. What you can do is you can always go to the setup, search for tab, go to tab and create new custom object tab. Right now, when I click on this new button, I don't see any objects available right now. Why? Because we have not yet clicked on saved. That means this is still not created in the system. Okay. Only that's why we cannot see the object. So now I'm going to click on save. And as soon as I click on save, the screen will launch from here because I have selected this launch new custom tab wizard. Okay, great. So as you see, exact similar screen, but object is already selected over here, which is position, because we only created as of now one custom object, which is position. So you'll have to select object and tab style, whatever you want. Click on next. Now, next screen will define who has access to that particular custom object. Okay, as of now, if you set this default on, that means all the users in the organization will have access. Okay, all these are profiles. All these are profiles. If you don't want to give all the profiles to the access, you can make it as default off or make it as tab hidden. Okay, and you can select the second option, apply a different tab visibility for each profile. So let's say if I select this tab hidden for everyone and then I clicked on this, apply a different tab visibility for each profile. Let's say I only want to give this to system administrator, which is our profile. Okay, so only this profile users will have access to the tab. All the users will not be able to see it. Okay, this is a part of security, but I'm going to give default on for all the profiles. Okay, next. So all this is you have to decide whatever uh, um, requirement is from your client and customer. Okay, so you get all the information from them, or who should have access to this particular object or who should not have. Okay, now click on next. Now we are going to add it in the application. So all these are the standard applications which are showing right now. From this, we are going to see the sales one. Yeah, this one. Now save, and that's it. Our object is created. So when I go to the object, I can see all the details. Okay, if I click on edit, as I mentioned earlier, these optional features are features which you can enable, disable anytime you want. Okay, so that's how you come in here and change the setting. You need to go to the object. Now we'll go to the object manager and we'll search for a newly created position object. As I said earlier, a position object will have underscore underscore C. So whatever custom object you create in Salesforce, those will have API name ending with underscore underscore C, and it will be a custom object. So you can come here in the details, go to edit, whatever settings you want to edit, do it, and then. So in this way, you can create custom object. Now let's go to Sales tab and refresh this page. And now we can see a newly created position object and tab over here. I can click on the position. We don't have any record as of now because this is something which we have just created, right? I can click on new button. And once I click on new button, you see I only have two options, position name and owner. Okay. Once I click on save it, you will see two more options, created by and modified by. Why we only have two options? Because we only created object, right? Now it's time to create the fields. So fields, fields are the columns in a table. So fields can be have different data types. So let's see how you can create fields. Okay. So here we have the second option for fields and relationship in the object manager. If you don't know how to come here, always go to setup, go to object manager, search for your position object and click on the label. Okay, not API name, but label. Now go here in the fields and relationship. Now, as you see, we have 4 fields. All these fields are created by Salesforce, okay, at the time of object creation. Now we need to create fields here, custom fields. So fields can be of different data types. So when I click on new button, you will see different data types over here. We have auto number, we have formula, we have checkbox, currency, date time, email, percentage number, text, URL. Okay. And you can also see the description about that data type. So let's say text. It says allow users to enter any combination of letters and number. If I go to email, it says allow users to enter an email address, right? Whatever the email format is. If I, let's say date, it says that allow users to enter a date or pick a date from a pop-up calendar, right? So that's how you can select different data types in order to create different fields. So let's say now we need to create a field called status here for the position object, and status will have multiple options, but from those multiple options user should be able to select only one option like a drop down. So let's say if I go to this account and rating, okay, we have a rating field over here, and from this rating we have 3 options: hot, warm and cold, and from that I could select only one value. So similarly we have to create the same for position as well. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'll select this pick list one. Why pick list one? Because it says allow users to select a value from a list you define. That means we can select a list, we can define a list, and then user can select any one value from that defined list. Okay, it's a drop down. But in Salesforce language, it's called pick list. So we are going to select pick list, click on next, and then field label will be status. Okay, now here we have 2 options. First is use global pick list value set, and second is enter values with each value separated by a new line. Okay, for this demo, I'm going to use the second option, enter values with each value separated by a new line, because we have some 4 5 values. But in some cases, we may have hundreds of values, right? So it's not possible to add hundreds of values every time you are creating a field. So what you can do is you can create a global pick list set. Let me show you how you can create it. Pick list value set. Click on pick list value set. Click on new. And here you have to give values your whatever. Okay, like this. And then you can save this. And once you save this, you can get that option here on the drop down. Okay, and you can select that. So let's say you want to create a status field or any other field which are going to use in account as well as position as well as contact. So in that scenario, there is no need to create the same, field with this much of values again and again. Instead, create pick list value set and use that pick list value set wherever you are creating that field. Okay. So in our scenario, we are going to select the second one, and I'm going to add values there, which is new position, pending approval. Okay, all these values. So make sure that whenever you are adding values, those values always separated by a new line. Okay, you cannot just put a comma here and then add values. Okay, why? Because Salesforce does not read it as different values. Okay, it will read one row as one value. Okay, so even if you put comma over here, Salesforce will take it as one values only. So that's why you have to make sure that whenever you are adding values, you have to make sure that it is always separated by a new line. Okay, now you can display it alphabetically if you want, but I want this the order in the order which I have written over here. You can give the description, help text. Help text is something which, for users it is helpful. So as you see in the demo, beside help text, we use the little small eye icon. Okay, when you hover over on this, it displays the information about that particular field. So you can add help text if you want. Okay, let's say if you are creating a new field, you are introducing a new field to your users. Okay, so in initial days, maybe you can give them the option to check the help text to understand what that field is and what values they need to enter there. Okay, now in the field itself, we have this option to make a field required. Okay, required means when there is a field which is required, okay, you have to have enter a values, otherwise you won't be able to create a record. For example, here in this scenario we have account name. Okay, you see a red asterisk mark, that means it's a required field. Okay, now if I click on save button, let's say I have like fill in all the detailed information except account name, and I'm trying to save it. System mode, save it, right? System mode, let us save it. And it is throwing the error message. It says complete this field because this is required. So if there is any requirement to make a field required from field itself, you can directly do it from here. You can select the checkbox and make that particular field required. Okay, but as of now, I'm not doing that. So now next. Okay, now this is the similar screen when we were creating the object, and it gives us the uh, screen to give access to the users, which is similar. So here also for status field, who should have access. So we have two types of access, visible and read only. If I give read only, that means user will only be able to view that particular field and its value, but will not be able to edit it. Okay, but if I give visible, that means user can read it as well as it can edit it. Even here you see, select the profile to which you want to grant edit access to this particular field via field level security. So basically what we are doing is we are giving users the edit access for this particular field. Okay, so now all the profile have edit access. Click on next. Now this field will get added to the layout. So this layout is standard layout which is created by Salesforce. We are going to learn about it in the next session. But as of now, just understand that whenever you create any field, okay, you get this option to add it in the layout, and you can opt out for this if you don't want, or you can keep it as it is. I will keep it as it is so that we can see the difference over here. Okay, and then finally click on save. Okay, now our status field is created, right? So when I click on status, I can see all these are the values, right? And one more thing, if you notice, all these four fields are standard fields. So their field name is also same. But for status, it is underscore underscore C. Why? Because it is a custom field. So all the custom object as well as custom field, its API name will always have this underscore underscore C. Okay. Now let's go here and refresh the page. Go to position. click on new. It will show in a minute. Sometimes it takes time to show all the changes. So I'm going to create a self admin and save. Okay, now it is showing status. Great. So now when I click on this edit pencil, I can see these options and I can select one option from here. Okay, similarly, if I go to position, okay, it is going to, it should show over here as well, but sometimes, because of cache cookies, it takes some time to, reflect those changes. So don't worry. If you don't see it right now, you can refresh the page later on, or you can clear the cache cookie, then you will be able to see. So that's how you create a custom object and custom field in Salesforce. Okay, any questions here? If no questions, then I guess we can stop the session over here. I will share the assignment with you for object creation and field creation on WhatsApp. Okay, go through it and try to create the same in your demo. Or while creating anything, if you have any questions or if you are looking any issues, you can tell us in the next class. We can see if you have any questions or issues regarding the object creation and field. So I'll just stop my screen sharing. Okay. Okay then, if no questions, then we can stop the session here. And yeah, we'll see you on Monday.
All right. Thank you very much. You have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.